I was rolling, I was flying high. Cards were falling from out of the sky. I was way up, top of the game. I could see like an eagle, put my hand in the flame. So today's song is a song by Gurf Morlix called Crossroads. This was requested by one of my subscribers. Gurf Morlix is associated, he was friends with and worked with Blaze Foley. So if you haven't seen the Blaze Foley movie, maybe I'll put a card up here and you can find a reference or some references to the Blaze Foley movie created by Ethan Hawke. Gurf worked as a consultant on that film. Gurf went on to spend many years working with Lucinda Williams and has a very long and wonderful career as a solo singer-songwriter as well. If you want to look at one of my previous lessons about Gurf Morlix, I do a lesson on One More Second, which is a Gurf Morlix original song, and you can see the link to that up here. Today we're going to talk about this song, Crossroads. This song is in a special tuning, so it's in a drop D tuning. The low drop D is a familiar device. Anybody who's studied Neil Young songs, in particular Harvest Moon, will recognize the device. We're going to look at the special tuning that's used. We're going to look at the intro riff that is used at the beginning of each verse in this song. We're going to talk about the chord shapes. The chord shapes that are necessary are slightly impacted by the special tuning, but none of the chord shapes that we're going to play are really hard chord shapes. There's no pure bar chord in the true sense of the word in this song. We're going to learn the structure of the verse, the chords through the verse. We're going to learn the structure of the chorus. And as an added bonus, Gurf often performs as a solo performer and frequently includes a solo that he plays without any accompaniment, as he does in this song. So I'll show you Gurf Morlix's solo. He's a great guitar player, great songwriter. We're going to have a lot of fun. Let's get into it. A special tuning that we're using today is a drop D. So what that means is that your low E string gets tuned down a whole step to the note D. So if you want to hear what it sounds like, it's just an octave below your regular D string, which is the third string. Okay, I hope you know your strings right now. Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. You gotta know the strings names. Okay, so here's the low E string, and you can hear it's lower than usual. It's tuned to the same note as D, but an octave lower, okay? Why are we in the drop D tuning? We're in the drop D tuning because this is a song that's in the key of D, and Gurf has written a very cool little riff that he starts off every verse with, and that riff is this. I'm putting the riff on the screen for you now, and it's this. Okay, so I was rolling, flying high. Okay. Let's talk about the chord shapes. These chords are not too hard. They do take a little bit of getting used to, and you are going to be using your pinky. Our first chord in the song at the beginning of immediately after the riff, we play the B minor chord, and it's just an ordinary B minor. Now what I want to point out about the B minor is that it looks like a bar chord, but it's really not much of a bar chord because the only notes you're holding with your pointer finger are on the A string and the high E string. These other strings you're holding down with these other fingers. So this is one of the easiest bar chords. If you need help with bar chords, click on the link above and see my wonderful workshop on bar chords. Within 20 minutes, you'll be playing bar chords like a breeze. Okay? However, this one's the only real bar chord in this song, and this is how we're going to play it. And you can see the diagram on the screen. So don't worry if you get a perfect bar. All you have to worry about is if you get your pointer holding down the A string and the high E string nicely, because those other middle strings are already being held down by these fingers. Now what we're doing next is we're going to play a kind of a barred C chord to be able to play a D in the shape of a C. If you're not familiar with the caged chord shapes and how to move your chords around on the neck, see the link above my head right now, because there's a card there taking you to my caged workshop where I explain the movable chords and how we're going to move chords around all the time. Here's our B minor. And to be able to play this as a C, I just take the pinky off and I reach up to the A string. Now I do have to stretch over, and you may not be able to keep your bar in place if you're not accustomed to playing like this. You may not be able to keep your bar. The only notes you have to hold down with your pointer now is the G string and the high E. Don't worry about anything else. So you can move your bar down, and if you watch the live video of Gurf doing that, you'll see that Gurf does the same thing. He moves that finger down to get that nice C chord. It's a barred C. It's a really important shape to learn. So that's basically I was rolling, I was flying, and then back to the B minor. Okay, and you might want to just practice going back and forth in between that barred C shape, which is a D chord, and your B minor. Okay, that's the first 2 lines of the song. Then we go to a G, okay? But because our low string is tuned down a whole step, our G note is going to be on the 5th fret. So we're basically playing like a barred G almost, or a non-barred G in this 3rd fret position, as if we were playing this. But you can hear that's not going to sound good because of that low E string. So what we're going to do is we're going to play these 3 fingers, the pointer, middle, and pinky, holding down pointers on B and E, middle is holding down G, pinky's holding down D, and then I'm going to reach over to the low E string with my ring finger and hold that down on the 5th fret, and that gives me a beautiful barred G. Now it's not really barred, again, but it is a new position for you. Most likely you're going to have to practice it a little bit. I was way up, and then back to B minor. On top of the game. Then back to that G again. Could see like an eagle. And then our A is we're just playing an ordinary A. You can play it here. You can play your A, ordinary open position A. Or if you look at Gurf, who's a very, very experienced session player, he plays it barred because he knows he's not going to ring that high E string. Hold my hand in the flame. Back to the B minor. Okay? So those are the chords of the verse. Here's the chorus chords. Okay? It's the same B minor. You can find a crossroad. Make you a deal. Back to B minor. Take a chance. Back to the D. Spin the wheel, strike a bargain for what you think you need. Then we go to the G, which we already know how to do. You're gonna get cut. Then to the A, and you're gonna back to B minor, bleed. Now we're going to go back into the verse, and every time we start the verse, we play the riff. I got a little nervous, I hedged my bet, and so on into the verse. Okay, here's Gurf's beautiful solo. I'm going to show it to you with both hands. I'm going to play the left hand, and I'm going to put the tab on the screen, and then I'm going to go back and play and record it again and show you what the right hand's doing. I'll show you what I do. I'm a very, very strong advocate of a country style hybrid picking, kind of like a Chet Atkins style or a Travis picking, and I'm going to show you an example of that. You can use what I'm showing you or not. And I'm going to be providing more lessons on this finger style, hybrid style picking in the future, but I'm not going to drill into it too far today. So here's the solo. It starts off with a little pickup. Then we do this rolling part here, and it goes. And then it's just a little step down riff. Okay, that's the first half of the solo. I'm going to play it a little faster. Okay, here's the second half of the solo. It just has a different pickup at the beginning and a slight change on the little rolling part. Same roll, same roll. Now a slightly different roll. Then into the regular pickup riff. Okay, so I'm going to show you now what I'm doing with the right hand. I'm doing this motion with the right hand where I'm mostly rolling. So I'm going, and then this is a roll. And then that's Crossroads by Gurf Morlix. I'm going to put a card up here with a link to Gurf's live performance of that, which is what I transcribed to be able to teach this lesson. Again, strongly recommend checking out Gurf Morlix. He's a fantastic songwriter in the same lines as Townes Van Zandt or Steve Earle or John Prine or Blaze Foley for that matter. If you're looking for more, this is not really a beginner song. It's a little bit beyond beginner, but it's not super difficult. If you put a little work into it, it's totally playable. This is a really good song to begin to work on. How do we employ these movable chord shapes, and how do we start to see chords as being movable shapes that we can use all over the guitar? Gurf Morlix does it very deftly in this song, and so can you. So have fun. If you're looking for more songs, there's probably one here by now, another one here. Come on back and visit me again soon. I'm Bonner, and I hope you'll come back and visit.